All right, here we go. We're playing with the black pieces. I'm going to be explaining what I'm thinking about. And if you follow this thought process, I think it's going to help you guys in your games. So d4. Let's play knight f6, stopping my opponent from getting 2 pawns in the center. They play c4, which allows us to play a gambit, which is called the Budapest gambit, which I'm going to play. So I've studied this. It's e5. We're giving up this pawn because we're going to jump our knight over here and attack it. And okay, they played bishop f4. Interesting move. So they obviously defend the pawn. So I'm going to attack it again, this time with my other knight. And okay, knight f3. Very good. So now we have this position. And I think there's a couple of tricks here where you could try to bring your queen out and double attack things like this if they take. But I don't believe it's very good because they always have queen d2, which defends everything. So if I remember correctly, the best way to play this is bishop to b4 check. And we're just going to try to get our pieces out as fast as possible. What's up, Rob? How's it going? Good to see you here, man. All right, so he blocks with the knight, and I'm debating if I want to castle or play one of my other pawns first. I think we can just castle, or even queen e7 and just try to attack the pawn this way. Might be pretty good. Let me think about this. Yeah, let's go queen e7, because we do want to take our pawn back at some point, and now maybe is a good time to do it. Yeah, and I think since they didn't stop us, we'll go ahead and take the pawn back. Okay, they take, we take back. And now I'm thinking about what's the most important thing that I should be doing. First of all, you want to scan the board for blunders, right? Like, can I get a fork and do anything? No, because it's covered by the bishop. Can I somehow take advantage of this pin, maybe by taking here? No, again, it's covered by the bishop. But those are the kind of things you want to make sure that you're not missing. Once you've done that, then it's a question of, okay, which pieces need to be brought into the game? Well, this bishop definitely should be on my radar. Getting my king out of the center usually is a good idea, so castling is probably something to think about. So that means castling or maybe d6 to get the bishop out should be the top priority moves. Now, d6 is a blunder, and it's because my bishop then is undefended, and I'm opening myself up to this fork. And well, maybe I could save myself with knight c6, but I still don't think that's a position I want to put myself in. So because I noticed that, I'm going to go ahead and castle, get the king out of danger, and then we'll probably play d6 next. Okay, they castle. Again, I'm scanning. This is still defended, so I don't have any tactics. Let's play d6. Okay. Bishop needs to come out. The question is where? We can't go here. There's 2 pieces. So it's here or here, it looks like. I think f5 looks more active, controlling more squares. This one's nice because it does come with an attack, but it's pretty easy for white to defend in a lot of different ways. So I think I'm going to go here and just keep the bishop on this diagonal. Okay, attacks my bishop. This is actually something I probably should have thought about ahead of time. Like, where's my bishop going to go if it gets attacked? And we can't go here, so we do have to go back here. It's not ideal because I'm going to get double pawns, but it also opens up the d file. So that's actually kind of useful in this position because now we can put a rook there. So it's not all bad news, but in hindsight, I should have been paying a little bit more attention. Yes, and as far as the board color, sometimes I just get tired of looking at the same color and I want to mix it up. And so that's what we're doing today. And it won't be this way for very long, probably just one stream, but I just like to change it up every so often. So that's what's going on. And I feel like sometimes you like see differently depending on the board theme that you're using. If you've never tried that, I recommend like switching it up every now and then. Some people actually play a lot better on certain color boards. Something about the pieces that you choose, the contrast on the squares, like you'll just see tactics better. And so, yeah, definitely maybe try that if you haven't. But yeah, I just like to mix it up every once in a while. So that's what we're doing today. Ryan's loving the Breaking 1500 course. Nice. Glad to hear it. Spent a lot of time making that, so I appreciate the feedback. Okay, so what's the threat? Obviously attacking my pawn here. So what are my options? Well, we could push this pawn forward, defending it this way. But then they might be able to lure my queen away and I still lose the pawn. Now, even if they do take the pawn, it might not even be a big deal, because if I play rook b8 and then my rook invades, that might be a worthwhile sacrifice. So that's another thing to think about. I could also play something like b6, and then all the pawns are really solid and the queen can't do anything. So I'm thinking about all those options. I would love to get a rook on this file right away. Yeah, do I want to sacrifice this? If I lose this pawn, then this guy could be annoying. Maybe I don't have enough counterplay. Yeah, so I think I will play b6. Just go ahead and shut down any ideas of anything happening over here. Everything is nice and solid. It's well defended. He brings the rook to the open file, and probably I should do the same thing. Now, when you're trying to decide which rook to use, you want to try to think what's going to happen in the future and plan accordingly. So I think I might want to put this rook here at some point. So because of that, I will use this rook, leaving this option open, right? If you thought, for whatever reason you were going to be pushing these pawns, maybe you'd want to leave that rook over there. You would obviously use the other rook. But in this case, I think this guy's going right here. Queen c3. Okay, what's the threat? Obviously, my knight is under attack, so we want to either defend or move or counterattack. I would like to jump into the square, but I don't think I can do it because there's 3 pieces attacking and I only have 2 defenders. So, fortunately, we can't do that. Looks like we are going to have to move, or maybe f6 is an okay move here to support it. I would get an isolated pawn, but I don't think that's a huge deal. Alternatively, we just move back here maybe. I'm going to play f6. It does create a weakness here, but that's not easy for white to take advantage of because the pawn is actually blocking them, right? They can't put a piece there. And so I like this. And if they do take, even though I get an isolated pawn, it opens up my rook, which I think is a good trade-off. And I would be okay with that. So let's see if they're going to do it or not. As a general rule, if there's rooks on a file, you don't want to make that trade. Like, for example, if they take, because then it allows me to get control of the file with my rook. And same thing, if I take, they get the file. It doesn't always matter if you can immediately replace it with your own rook, it's probably fine. Like, for example, if I take, they take, and I immediately go there with another rook, it's okay. But it's just nice to kind of be aware that usually you don't want to break the tension yourself. Okay, they play h3. Not really sure what to do. White's position doesn't really have any major weaknesses. And so sometimes you just have to be patient and wait for your opponent to give you something that you can work with. If they don't, that's chess, right? Like, perfect chess is a draw. And so you kind of just have to wait around. I'm going to go here. Just making sure everything is defended. This is defended. This is defended. But I'm going to think about rerouting my knight maybe to e4. Looks like it might be a little bit of a better square. Or maybe even if I really want to get aggressive, throwing some pawns forward and attacking on the king. That's very risky, obviously, because my king is here. But I'm keeping that as an idea. Okay, they play b4. Interesting. I don't think I'm worried about this because I just recapture with my queen and I'm pretty happy. If they push, it's probably also fine. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go here. Like I said, rerouting the knight. Maybe we jump into e4. And if they take now, I think I can still go knight e4 and still recapture just like I wanted to. So I'm not worried about that. I guess I should have calculated what happens if they take the knight, though. Takes, takes, takes. I didn't really calculate this, but it looks like I could still get my queen on c5 and be happy. Because as soon as white makes this trade, as long as I can capture with the queen, then they have 2 isolated pawns, right? And I have 3 nice and connected pawns. So that's going to be good for me. Okay, so let's recapture with the rook. Jason bought Breaking 1500 rose from 900 to 1375. Haven't broke 1500 because you haven't studied as much. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it. Okay, so they do go for this, and I am going to give up the file. Oh, there's rook d5, guys. Oh, I didn't see this. Okay, what I was going to say was I'm going to give up the file, but everything is controlled, but it's not. You see that? That's a very sneaky move. That is a very sneaky move, and if I don't have a way around that, I can't take the pawn. I just lose a piece. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't see that. That was a good move. Okay, I didn't see that. But I have to change my plan. I have to change my plan and either take with the pawn or don't take at all. Sometimes it's actually better to lose a pawn and keep your pawn structure nice rather than mess everything up. Just what I'm debating right now. Okay, let's do it. Let's keep the pawn structure and lose a pawn. I missed rook d5. That was smart. But basically I'm saying, look, it's only a pawn. You still have weaknesses. And so, like, for example, I could play rook a8 and maybe just win a pawn back at some point. I don't think it's so bad for us, but I did miss that one. And I think I'm going to take this way. I guess this is also an option too and go for this pawn. Because bishop f3 would stop me from going to a8. Okay, maybe I will do this. Maybe I will go for the c pawn instead. Queen b4. He wants to trade and get rid of his weakness, which makes sense. I don't think we want to let him do that. So how do I stop that? Queen c7 maybe? Let's go queen c7. I don't want to trade the queens. I want to keep this target and probably play rook c8 next. I do have to speed up, though. 2 minutes is kind of like when I start to, in my mind, I'm like, okay, now we have to go faster. In a 10-minute game, 2 minutes is a good rule of thumb. All right, we can do a poll after this game. We'll do a poll, and if it's 80% or more who want the or maybe 70%. If it's 70% or more who want the old board, I'll switch it back. But let's finish this game first, and then we can do that. Okay, rook d4. Yeah, let's go ahead and just put the pressure on the pawn, so he's kind of tied up defending it. And then see if we can figure out a way to... It's going to be hard to actually capture it, right? I mean, maybe if we chase the queen away, but I don't think that's going to be a possibility. So what else can we do? These are the weaknesses. So somehow we have to attack these. That's a good move. Bishop f3. He wants to come here. Wait a second. Wow, fancy tactics. Fancy tactics there. We can't actually take the pawn. The reason I can't take it is because after all the dust settles with all of these pieces, I am left with the rook sitting there. And he just goes check and takes my rook. And then he has an extra bishop in the endgame. So that's why I couldn't take it. That was a very good move. He's probably going to try to go to d5. Yeah, at this point, I'm thinking maybe we just trade to a rook ending and take the draw if we can hold on to it, because I just don't see much to do. It's probably the smart thing to do. So if you do want to try to get a draw, trading into a rook endgame is probably your best bet. There's a saying in chess that all rook endings are drawn. Obviously, it's not true, but it makes a good point. And so if like bishop d5, yeah, I think we do just trade some stuff here. Okay, so if we take here, do I have enough counterplay, or do I need to leave the queens on? Got to make sure the king gets over to help so that this doesn't become too big of a problem. But if he pushes it now, we actually will win the pawn. I'm going to try to blockade with my king. I can get my own passed pawn over here. My rook might be able to invade as well, which would be very nice if we get the rook on the second rank. Okay, so he's not even going to try to stop me. So let's go ahead and blockade with the king. And then I think I will go ahead and get the passed pawn here, just to give white something to worry about. Okay. And let's be aggressive with the king here. Uh-huh. I don't want to get skewered, obviously. But I'm going to try to use my king to support the pawn, because this king is way out of position over here. And so I'm going to push, use the king. It's going to get a little interesting when the pawns start rolling down. But it seems like a decent try for me. Can't go here just yet because we just take the pawn. We're catching up on time, so this is going to be interesting once this starts happening. Okay, let's push the pawn. Okay, let's support it with the king. Mm-hmm. You will win. I'm going to try to blockade it. I think I have to take the draw here, guys. Or do I? Probably have to take the draw, because otherwise the pawns are going to win. No, he's going to go for this. What? What is he doing? He's throwing it, guys. He's throwing it big time. Okay. All right. I don't know what was going on. I think it was a draw if he just kept checking me. And then he just decided to try to flag me and lost, I think is what happened. Let's see. All right. So let me do the poll first. Hold on. Let's do the poll. Okay. Keep the board or go back to green. Okay. Keep it. Go back to green. All right. Go ahead and answer that, and then we'll talk about that ending. Oh, it's 70%. I said if it was over 70. Wow. 71. Okay. All right, guys. I guess that's strong enough. All right, fine. Hold on. I'll change it for you guys. I wasn't going to, but 70% is pretty high. All right, here's green. And I think I usually have neo wood pieces. Does that make everybody happy? Okay. All right, so he's actually, no, he's winning. He's totally winning. And it's because these two pawns are just going to be too strong. Assuming that he's able to sacrifice his rook. So all he has to do, literally just go here, take it, and he wins. You just push your pawns. E6, my king is too far. Push the pawn. Push the pawn. There's a principle in chess. 2 pawns on the 6th rank will beat a rook. Of course, that means as long as my king is not able to help or anything like that. But these pawns are in the 6th and 7th, so that's going to be a win. There's nothing I can do. He just pushes, and he gets a queen. That was it. It was literally that simple. Instead, he pushed the pawn right away, and now it's a little tricky because now I'm actually threatening to block off his rook. This is a very important concept in rook endings. If you can cut off the rook, then your pawn can just become a queen and they can't even sacrifice. So that's what I'm trying to do. Now, Stockfish says if he just pushes, I was going to go here. And if he just gets the queen, I get a queen. Takes. It's a win for him because he's got this pawn. No, you can't go there. You have to go here. Still tricky, but it should be a win because of this pawn. He's eventually going to get his queen and support the pawn and win. I don't know if that would have happened with the time situation, but that was one thing. Here, now it's a draw. Now it's just a draw, and he needs to just take the draw and be happy. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I can never do anything else, right? Because if I ever try to do anything else, he just takes it, and we have the same problem as before. The pawns are just too powerful. Check doesn't do anything. He just defends, and then these guys are going to become a queen. Okay? So he just didn't want the draw. He thought he could flag me, and that was the critical mistake. And now it's just, obviously, I have a queen. So, okay. Good game. Got some points. Let's go. Oh. If I refresh, does it update it? There it is. Okay. While I'm at it, I should probably change the animate. Now we'll leave the animations. We'll leave the animations. Okay, let's go. All right. Let's go E4. What was my accuracy? I forgot to check. I totally forgot. Let's play a King's Gambit. I'm feeling a King's Gambit this game. Knight F3. G5. Let's go Bishop C4. Oh, we're going to get to play the Muzio Gambit. Okay, we're going to sacrifice a piece, guys. Here we go. We're going to sacrifice the piece because now we've got the queen, the bishop. This guy's playing the main line. Let's see how much theory he knows. E5. This is going to lead to a double Muzio gambit. We sacrifice 2 pieces. And then d4. Oh my goodness. He knows the theory. He's playing everything perfectly. He knows all the theory. Uh-oh. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure we can play queen b3 check here. We are threatening to win the queen. If he plays like d5, we are threatening to win the queen. So I'm guessing the move is, the stockfish move is probably here or here. I could be wrong about that. I'm at a book. I'm at a book now. This is all I know. I know you're supposed to sacrifice the 2 pieces, and then you just get a crazy attack on an exposed king. That's basically what I know. All right, this is a good sign. The fact that they're thinking means they're out of the theory too. So finally, we're playing some chess. After 10 moves of opening preparation, we're playing some chess. Great. Double Muzio gambit. You should look it up if you haven't checked. Okay, he goes queen e6. The thing about that move is, well, I do not want to play d5 because then he can force a queen trade. You see that? But I'm leaning towards this one. Check. He's going to play, I guess, knight f6. I mean, he doesn't have to. He could play something else. Bishop f4. I don't think we can get away with that. Can we? Bishop f4 takes... I mean, I will be winning the rook. That's actually fascinating. I will be winning the rook. Oh, no, he has king g6. Never mind. He has king g6 and bishop g7. Do I have to do this? Well, it just seems like the only move to me, so I'm going to play it. I don't know. I could be way off here. Now, knight f6, I wonder, is there some way to sacrifice again? King would have to come out? No, I need more pieces, right? I don't think we can get away with that. Also have to watch out for this. I feel like I did something wrong here, guys. I feel like this is getting away from me really quickly. We could play c4. I don't love it, though. I really don't love it. I don't think there's any way I can do this, right? Queen comes over. What if I do allow the queen trade? Do we have enough of an attack if I play something like knight c3? He takes, I take. He goes bishop g7. Knight d5. No. We can't do it. Yeah, it just feels like I messed it up, guys. Something is going wrong here. I don't know what I did wrong. I do not know. I don't want to allow the queen. Actually, the queen check's not a big deal. We have rook f1, so I can forget about that from my mind. Don't worry about that. So maybe just c4 is fine. c4. Just go there. Okay, let's go c4. The main reason is to just not allow the queen trade. But I feel like, yeah, maybe... I really thought queen b3 was a good move, though, so I think that's fine. Queen e6. Maybe rook f4 was not correct. I don't know. I don't know. It's a wild opening. It's a wild opening. That's all I can say. Okay, he goes bishop h6. I don't know if I have time to move my rook. I mean, yes, I can, but I think we need to get pieces out as quickly as possible. Yeah, we're going to just give it up. We've already sacked so much. At this point, I'm like, I don't even care. Take the rook. I have another one. I have another one coming. This will be very interesting to analyze afterwards and see what Stockfish recommends here, because these lines are so crazy. Okay, he takes it. So we're down a piece and a rook. We're down 2 pieces. A rook and a piece for 1 pawn, essentially. But there's his king, and there's all of these pieces that are not developed. I have a little bit of a center. So I'm going to be playing rook f1 for sure pretty soon. Maybe d5. Maybe knight d5 if we can get the pin there. Unfortunately, it feels like my queen is misplaced. Not doing... I want it like here. Somewhere on this area of the board. So black's probably trying to figure out how to develop the pieces the best way. Because you have a lot of options. You could start with your rook, moving your rook somewhere. You could start with trying to get this bishop out or the knight over here. You could start by like striking with d5 maybe. But that looks a little bit risky because I could just take it. You could do this. I mean, there's a lot of plans for black here. These are some of the hardest positions, in my opinion, to calculate correctly because you like have no idea what your opponent's going to play. It's not really possible for you to calculate all the stuff that might happen after this move and all the stuff that might happen after this move and all the stuff that might happen after this and this and this and this and this. And, you know, I mean, yeah, GMs can do it, right? But for most people, it just becomes overwhelming very quickly. So you kind of have to like use your intuition on like, okay, they're probably going to try to push this pawn to get their pieces out. So maybe you consider these 2 moves, and they're probably going to try to bring this rook over so their king can hide somewhere. So maybe you consider these moves. You know, I don't know. That's just kind of how, yeah. Okay, so we did kind of get one potential move there. They want to maybe defend this guy is what it looks like. I really think rook f1 is where my rook needs to be. Yeah, let's do it. Because now we're threatening this, which is very dangerous, especially if our knight comes here. So yeah, knight d7, I think I will play knight d5. Although I don't technically have a pin just yet, so he could even actually just take it. So maybe I do need to start with bishop g5. Get the pin. We can make the trade. No, he's going to stop knight d5. Okay. So, I mean, I want to just go here, right? And then take the knight. But what happens? Knight d7? So then I push. And then what happens? The queen moves somewhere. Still have the problem that my queen is not able to get into the attack. So do I just go queen d1? Could go queen d1. We could do that. Bishop e5. I don't know if I'm willing to give up my bishop. Knight d7. We take. They take. It seems like I'm running out of pieces. d5 immediately. Where's the queen going to go? Because now you can't go to e5 if I start with this. You can't go anywhere here with this. Maybe that's the move. We start with this, force the queen to go, let's just say here. Then we hit him with this, then this. Okay, I'm going to start with d5. I don't know. I just feel like poking at the queen might be a good idea. Could be way off here because it does let the bishop come out. But I think he's going to have to play knight d7 next, which is actually going to block the bishop after bishop g5. So I'm expecting queen e7 because I think the queen has to stay guarding knight. I guess technically I could go somewhere else, but I don't know. Then maybe things start dropping off. So let's just say queen e7 for a second. Bishop g5, knight d7. How do I attack that guy again? I don't see a clear way to do that. Oh, he goes there. Whoa. Okay. That one wasn't on my radar. I guess we just take this pawn. I'm not sure what... Is it this? Is this the idea? Or check? Why did he go there? I mean, this is not a big deal. I can just defend that, right? Bishop g3, maybe. Although I guess if my bishop is defending this, then I can't be attacking the knight. So maybe that's the idea with this. Okay. So queen c2 would be an option. Yes, queen c2 I like. So, okay, queen c2 is like a multi-purpose move. It's like a defending move, but it's also an attacking move. So rook g8, I think we can go queen c2. What else can he play? What else can they play? I don't think they're going to take. I don't think they can move that because we come in here. Oh, they do go. Okay, let's just do it. Let's just do it quickly. Try to get a time advantage as well. Since I already thought about it, I was ready for that one. And it kind of brings my queen back to where I think it should be on this side of the board. This is the big threat, right? Queen h7 is the big threat because the knight is pinned. Okay, you guys see that? So queen g6 could be a move. Bishop f5? Oh, are they just... Oh, they want to go... Wait, what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? Maybe they're saying, look, I'm already up a rook and a piece. I just want to get that out of the way so that my other rook can come in, and then they're going to play knight d7, and they'd rather not have the bishop. That might be smart, actually. Oh, because they did stop my threat. Okay. Interesting. Maybe that is a good idea. Wow. Bishop f5. How about that? I don't think I would have thought of that. Anyway, maybe knight d7. We do have a time advantage now. Looks like knight e4 is going to be my next threat. Can also play rook f4. But I can't do that. He just takes my rook. I can't do that. Yeah, well, maybe I go rook f4 and knight e4 and try to really put the pressure here on this guy. Oh, that's a good move, actually. Ooh, didn't see that. What do I do, guys? Oh, such a good move. I missed that one big time. I think I'm just in trouble now. I think I'm just in trouble. I don't know what to do. I'm losing my knight. I can't do anything about it because I put myself in a pin. Ah, yeah. Can't do anything about it. I'm just totally lost. There's nothing left to do at this point. Stop the checkmate. Can I even come up with a way to set a trap? That's what I'm trying to think about. Is there any way to set a trap here? Don't think so. No, I don't see anything, guys. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to do. Hmm. Maybe we can flag them if we get into a time scramble, if I still have some pieces left. Question is, how am I going to do that? How am I going to have some pieces left? When I sacrificed all of them. Yeah. They're all gone. They're all gone. You missed mate in one, by the way. Doesn't matter, though. Gives me that. This guy was not very good at the end. You could see it. You could see he was not very good. I would have left a little bit more pieces. I think we had a chance. That's kind of annoying. He was like just giving away pieces at the end. That's like, dude, 85? Wow. Okay, that's impressive. That's impressive. All right, so let's see. This is the main line. Everybody knows this. You play queen f6. You take this. And then he knew to play queen f5 here. This is a little trap. If you take this, I have bishop e3. You can't take me because of a pin. That's nice, right? Okay, so he avoids that, and he plays queen f5. Anish, hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. So queen b3 is not really a great move. It's okay. It's not an awful move, but I'm supposed to just play knight c3. Yeah, just develop. I guess I tried to get a little too fancy with queen b3. Okay. He plays the best move. Knight f6. Bishop h6, best move. d6, one of Stockfish's options. c6, yeah, the guy basically played perfectly, so I can't really feel bad. Even queen g4, every move. Wow. Bishop f5 is the top move. Well, what are you gonna do? Yeah, literally this whole game, every move is Stockfish move. Sorry. Okay, he only started playing bad like at the very end in the time scramble. Man, I don't know. It seems, let me see. Hold on. Might be legit. I don't know. It might be. That's a very good game if it is. Very good game. All right, let's play again. Because, like, I mean, obviously, if your opponent's going to play like all the engine lines, you wouldn't play a crazy gambit like that. But you play it because you expect they're going to like have trouble navigating the complexities. They're going to make a mistake, and you can take advantage of it, right? But they played perfect. They played a perfect game. So, what can I do? He was legit because I sacked 7 points of material. No, that's not how it works. So it's a very tricky opening, and you sack the material because it puts them in a position where it's like, okay, my king is exposed. I have so many options, so many ways to go wrong, and you can't just say like, oh, well, you sack pieces, so that of course you're gonna lose. Like it doesn't. That's not how chess works. Okay, this is the elephant gambit. So we defend our pawn, and they usually attack it with either the pawn or the knight. And then we will decide what we're going to do. I think most people play knight here, knight c3. Okay, he goes with d3. Against this one, we just take with the queen. So we defend our pawn here. And now when the knight comes out, we actually can pin it with our bishop. The idea of this opening is to like fight for the center as quickly as you can. Oh, he's just going to take it. That's interesting. I guess we just take it. I mean, because against this, I'm still going to go here and pin it, right? Yeah, the animations, if you go to settings, it's like settings, scroll down to piece animations and choose arcade. See it there, guys? Arcade. It's not a special plugin. It's built into chess.com. He goes knight g5 to attack me instead. Okay, that's interesting. That's a good move, actually. So maybe I got myself into some trouble. Maybe I had to take with the queen. So, okay, if I defend, he's going to play f3, right? Is that the idea? If I play bishop f5, still f3. Okay, I didn't see this. I was expecting knight c3. I forgot about this one. I mean, there might be a way to get out of this mess. I'm just not sure. So like bishop here, c3, and then castling. And the idea is if you take my bishop, I will take your knight. And what if you take my knight? That's the issue. Then I'm playing rook e8. No, rook e8 loses. I think I messed up. I think I was supposed to take with the queen. Because then you just trade queens and the game is kind of boring. I was trying to get more fancy, but this looks like it just loses a piece. It looks like it just loses a piece. Wow. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. I mean, maybe I have to try this and hopefully it doesn't see this line with knight f6, but it's pretty easy to see that. It's pretty easy to see that. Yeah, I don't even have any ideas. I guess we're gonna play this. I'm just messed up. I should have taken with the queen. I don't know what I was thinking. It shows the danger of putting yourself into a pin, right? If you put yourself into a pin, there's always a risk that the piece is going to get attacked and you might lose it. And that's exactly what's happening here. So I just messed this up big time. Let's castle. And if he's smart, he's just going to take this. And I don't have... I mean, maybe I have a little bit of compensation for my piece, but hardly anything. Hardly anything. See, the thing is, what I wanted to do, guys, was play rook e8. And then we actually have something happening. The problem with rook e8 is knight f6 check, right? So this one, wait a second. This one... For some reason, I guess he's getting two pieces. I guess he can do this. Okay, okay. Okay, well, at this point, I think I have to do it, right? Yeah, I think we're going to lose this game, but we'll keep playing. Someone said just resign. No, I'm not going to resign yet. Even if you're down a piece, if you have any kind of compensation, you should probably play on because, I made a mistake. Maybe my opponent makes a mistake, right? Like, most people make mistakes when they play chess at some point. Okay, so f5 will win this one, but then I lose this. Okay. Okay, we'll take it. Probably tuck my king in the corner, or should I come out? Maybe I will go out. Might need to use the king. Might need to use the king. So what do we have? 3-6, 3-6. We have nothing. We have nothing for our piece. So we're just playing down a piece. All right. That's a good move too, actually. All right, I guess we have to stop it. An example of where I would have wanted my king in the corner. Maybe I go here. Let's see, if we play really fast, maybe we can get some time pressure, something happening. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Let's go here, attack the pawn. This is risky because I could get pinned either way, but I'm counting on my bishop to save the day. I'm counting on the bishop to save me. Yeah, we better go here. Hit the bishop. Maybe we can get a cheap check on the king. That would be nice. Probably not going to let us. He doesn't. Okay. Let me just defend my pawn. In a castle, and there goes any thought of an advantage is gone now. Let's go here. We will try to keep the rooks on the board, I guess. I guess that's the way to keep the game going. You don't trade rooks. Okay, so he's going to double up. I can do that, but what does that accomplish? Nothing. Okay, let's double up as well, I guess. I don't know what else to do. Yeah, it's a good move. It's funny, I actually do have a back rank mate if he takes it. He's noticing it though, so he's not gonna play like F3. Yep. So this is what you do when you're trying to survive. You just like try to deal with their threat as best you can and hope that by putting up enough resistance, they get frustrated at some point and then like make a bad decision, right? Because if they keep making good decisions, you're going to lose every time, right? But I'm hoping that they get frustrated because I'm not like making it easy, and then maybe they make a bad decision. Okay, so let's see. Also, if the time gets low enough, some people, panic. We're not there yet, though. And when you are down, it's generally good to trade pawns and not pieces. Because if I was able to trade all the pawns off right now, I would probably have good drawing chances. Because white's going to need a pawn left to get a queen at some point. So the more pawns you trade, the less likely they're going to be able to get a queen. And maybe you can survive for a draw. So that's what we're trying to do. Yeah, this one I don't know if I should take, though. Then I think his life becomes very easy. I think I should try to be annoying instead. Maybe I'll just plant my bishop there. That seems kind of annoying. There is this move, but I can also go here. Then I get forked. Okay, let's do this one. So we have a little time advantage. It's still far from enough, but I could win this pawn, maybe. Okay, so he's trying to take that. Let's just defend. 96 is kind of annoying, though. 96. Could I go here, sack the pawn, invade here with the check? No. What's he doing? What's he doing? Why did he go there? I have no idea. I have no idea why he went there. I'm trying to hold on, guys. I'm trying. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do it, though. Even on time for now. Problem is these are going to be weak. That's what I'm worried about. If he swings his rook over, I don't know what I'm doing. Yep. Okay. I'm running out of tricks. I would like to keep this on the board if possible, but am I going to just lose it if I try to do that? Well, I have to try, I think. I think if we trade, it's too easy for him. Still probably pretty easy for him, but yeah. I mean, that's a pretty obvious one. Okay, wow. He doesn't see that? Are you kidding me? He didn't see that? Whoa. That's surprising. Got to keep the pieces on the board, even if I get mated. I just have to do it. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Just trying not to get forked. I'm just trying not to get forked. Okay, let's go on the offensive. Now I can at least maybe cause some problems. Setting a little trap. He sees it. Setting another trap. Ooh, he wants to checkmate me. Gotta be careful. Oh no! I mated. I mated. Didn't see that. That's why you don't resign. You just don't do it. Because you never know. You never know what's gonna happen. Did I get lucky? Yes. Like I said, people make mistakes sometimes. Unless you're playing against those guys who play perfect moves every time. But I mean, yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, if I take with the queen, it's just an equal position. I just blundered. Literally, look at that eval bar. It's like, oh, that's a free piece. And he plays it. Fine. Knight g5 is good. Takes with the queen. Great. Yeah, he just gets the piece. The only thing I could say is, okay, couple principles. Number one, try to trade pawns, not pieces. So like right here, I knew what he wanted to do. He wants to just trade off all the rooks, right? So you have to find a way to stop that. So we stop it. At least for a moment, he has to figure something out. I can clearly see he wants to just take my pawn. It's an annoying pawn. So he's going to try to take my pawn. Okay, I have to defend it. Same thing, he still wants to take my pawn. I got a little lucky that there was a tactic here. If he tries to take it now, there's a checkmate. Okay, cool, right? But of course, they see that. So they play f3, great. But now I got to get this bishop out of here so that I can go and defend the pawn again. So we chase it away, and we're back. It's still totally winning, but I'm just trying to like prevent the most obvious thing that my opponent would do, right? And remember, trade pawns, not pieces. Okay, so that's what we did. Just trying to be annoying and keep this pawn alive. And really, the game should have ended right around here. Like, this is pretty obvious. Like, I'm actually surprised they didn't see this. But like I said, they can make mistakes. And they did. Played a random check. And then went here. Remember, don't trade pieces, right? Because you keep a little bit of complexity in the position. And then trying to, you know, whenever you have a pawn, you never know what might happen. So I'm trying to like come over here. And then I think I was totally lost here. Yeah, it's mate in 2. Check, mate. Like, that is not that hard to see, but I think this person was feeling the pressure. The time is getting low. Like, I've been up a piece for like this whole game. Now I'm down to 30 seconds. What's going on? How did this happen? Like, right, your mind starts thinking about all the stuff that it shouldn't be thinking about. So he misses the mate in 2. And even here, it's still mate. Check, mate. Same kind of idea, but he didn't see it. And yeah, sort of panicked in the time pressure, I guess, is all I can say. All right, next game. All right, we are white. Let's play e4. Ooh, ooh. This is always a good. It's always a good day when you get to play the von Hennig. Always a good day. Okay, we castle so that our rook lines up, and now knight g5, the famous bishop e6. So we're giving up the bishop so that we can attack the king. We get 2 pawns, obliterate the shield in front of the king. And the knight does a really good job of keeping the king from castling. Remember, you can't castle through a check, right? This would be a check, and this would be a check. So the knight on e6 prevents the king from castling. So that's kind of an important detail in a lot of these cases, because otherwise white could simply move, or black could simply move the queen, move the knight, get away. Yeah, like this, but they can't because the knight's there. Okay, so when the queen is supposed to go to d7. That's the best move, I believe. If it goes over here, I'm pretty sure we either play queen e2 or bishop f4, and I'm trying to remember which one. I think it's queen e2. And we're just lining up on the king, basically. And it's very difficult for black to deal with that. Yeah, this is a mistake. Common mistake, but it's a mistake. You can't give me this G pawn, because the pawn is actually doing a very important job of defending the knight. And as soon as you let me take that, now this is a big weakness. And if I'm not mistaken, we should play knight h5 to attack it. Or is it queen e6? Maybe queen e6. Let's see. So queen e6, what's the point? Well, you either go here or you take my knight. If you take my knight, I take you with check, and then I take your knight. Everything's falling apart. So you have to go to f8. But if you go to f8, do I have checkmate? Takes. Check. King goes here. Knight e6. Game over. Can't stop it. Yeah, that's it. We won. We won. This is why the von Hennig is so much fun. Once you learn all these little tricks, it's just, you catch so many people. And even when you don't catch them, you know, you still can play a game. Like, sometimes I get into bad positions when people have studied it, but it's pretty rare. What was the line that I just said? Here, right? And then 96, yeah. And the nice thing, you'll notice the knight on e6 actually helps defend the pawn. Not that I needed it, but it's extra defended. It stops the queen from coming back to defend. And it actually sets up 2 checkmate threats. But this one on g7 is more dangerous because you can't defend that with any of your pieces, right? And obviously the king is trapped. He can't run away. All right. Yeah. That one I kind of already knew all the theory for the most part. So the reason it's 92 is because it doesn't like my sacrifice. Stockfish thinks this is a bad way to play chess, but what does Stockfish know? Let me see. Yeah, queen e2. Oh, bishop g5. No, knight g7 is probably just as good. Queen e6. Yep, and now it's a forced checkmate. Oh, apparently you could also play bishop h6, which is a forced mate, but rook takes f6 seems a bit more forcing with the checks, and then knight e6, yeah. Okay, very good. Ooh, 2,500, who we've beaten before. Okay. So let's go. So we're going to play the elephant gambit here. Knight f3, d5. And, oh, he plays the King's Gambit. He plays the King's Gambit. Well, you know what? This is a good response against the King's Gambit, so that's fine. There's two lines. You can play e4 or c6. I'm going to play c6. This is called the Nimzovich-Marshall counter gambit. Interesting. Didn't know that. Okay. Anyway, while white is busy pushing... By the way, I should mention this. This is the opening that kind of made me stop playing the King's Gambit. Because people who knew about it just got into good positions as black. And I'm like, got frustrated. Plays d3, which seems a bit suspicious. I'm going to just get control of this important diagonal right away. I'm not going to mess around with this pawn. I don't really care about it. This is what I care about. And then I'm going to play knight f6 in castle. And the thing about this, guys, is it takes me a move to take back the pawn. What I would much rather is they take me, and now when I take back, I'm developing a piece at the same time. Yeah, I lost a pawn, but who cares, right? So I would, in an opening like this, where you're trying to be aggressive and quick development is important, I would much rather lose a pawn and get my pieces out as fast as possible. So that's what's going on. He plays knight f3. I think we just need to get more pieces out. Knight f6. Again, I don't really care if I lose a pawn. Like, I'm just going to keep attacking with knight g. Actually, that does allow d4. Hold on. Let me think about this. I could also play queen e7, or maybe even just castle and sack this. Check bishop e2. Do we get enough counterplay? Let's see. I forgot about d4, actually. I forgot about d4 because I thought I was going to have this move, but then d4 makes me look a little bit silly, doesn't it? Well, then I have queen d5, though. It's not that simple. Queen d5, if you take me, there is this fork idea. Maybe it's not that simple. Alternatively, bishop g4, and then we take... No, that doesn't look good. Then the queen. No, we can't do that. I really want to sack this knight somehow. Just not sure how. I guess there's also knight d5, but then again d4. I don't like d4. I really don't like d4. Okay, we're going to go. I'm going to go with my instincts here that there should be some sort of counterplay with queen d5. Could be wrong, and we'll learn something after the game if I'm wrong, but this looks pretty good. Because I'm basically saying, look, white only has one piece out, so I've got 3. I'm ready to castle. You know, maybe they go for this line and try to trap my knight. Maybe that's what's going to happen. I don't know. But if you play anything else, like knight c3, I can go bishop b4. c4, I can go check. That looks very annoying. What else can white do? That's probably going to be either this or this. This is my guess. One of these two moves. Knight c3 or taking my bishop. I'm willing to bet that they're really trying to evaluate this position after this happens. Because they are going to be able to trap my knight. So they're going to get a knight and a bishop. But I'm going to get the rook, and probably I'm going to win at least one of these pawns, and then maybe sack my knight for one pawn over here or something. So, we might be looking at, let's say, 6 against 3, 4, 5, 6 against 5. So yeah, it might be like a rook and a pawn against a knight and a bishop. And so I think that's what they're thinking about. There's also queen takes c5, which is a little interesting. No, they play h3. Okay, they were not thinking about anything that I thought they were. h3. Whoa. h3? Are you sure? Are you sure about that? I'm just wondering. Okay, let's just start with some obvious moves like check. What's the idea? What are they going to play against check? Bishop e2. I think I could jump in with my knight. No, then they could trade and take my bishop. Hold up. What about knight takes this? Because if they take with the pawn, bishop f2 check, they would have to play king e2. And then I don't exactly know if that's worth a piece or not. Their king is on e2 though, so maybe it is. And then if they take with the knight, I guess I just take here. I'm hitting their knight. They go back. Again, I would have bishop f2, and again, their king is on e2, but that time they're missing a pawn. We can play something like queen c5. Okay, so most likely, the line that we're going to see... Oh, and then the other thing is, what if they take my bishop? Actually, I need to think about that. If they take my bishop... That's kind of annoying if they take the bishop. This just looks like it should be a bad move. Like I just feel like I can't help but feel like Stockfish would be somehow jumping all over this move. I'm just not Stockfish. That's the problem. I mean, I'm almost like, what if I just move my bishop back? Like, what happens? You take me, I take you. I'm going to play knight d7 in castle. Can I get away with that? I don't know. I don't know. Man, guys. Okay, also this. I just really want to play this too. I don't think it's enough. Here, takes. Let's just say they play like c4. Then we go with the check and we try to win some more pawns. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's sack the knight. I could be way off here. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. Could be way off. I'm just thinking if I can get knight d7 in castle, I don't even care if I'm down like a piece or two, because I'll have a rook and another rook, and the king is there to get checkmated. This is a good move, though. This is a good move, I think. So here, what happens? We get, we're up a piece at that moment. No, he takes me. We're not up a piece. Equal, we're up a piece. We lose it. Yeah, it's not going to work. So that's no good. So bishop a5. Yeah, knight c3 is a good move. I shouldn't have done this. This is not worth it, is it? Okay, I can either retreat or play bishop a5. Which one should I do? Let's just go here. I'm still going to follow my plan, though. Knight d7 and castle. And it's not going to be really safe for the king, I don't feel like, over here. So they're probably going to try to go queenside. Yep. It's happening, isn't it? Okay, let's bring out the knight. Stick to the plan here. I might be threatening to take this. I might be threatening that. Queen goes there. Let's castle. Stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. Now I am threatening to take this because there's a pin. Okay, so you can't castle, right? Take your pawn. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do about this threat? Okay, so there's a sort of a little tactic where I can, let's see, 3-6, 3, so it's even right now. So winning just one pawn is probably not enough. Because I could take, and then take here, win a pawn. But it's just a pawn. It's not enough. So what should I do instead? Well, that's a good move. Because he's gonna castle next, isn't he? Man. Yeah, it's a good move. Okay, well, I have to leave the queens on the board. I don't think we can do anything if queens are traded, so we'll leave him on. He's going to castle, and then I guess I can at least take this. Because I do have a pin here, right? Well, first I have to trade this, then I could take it. I get one pawn back. It's not very good, but it's something. See, when you decide to sack a knight like this, right, you don't want them to be able to castle and get away from the attack. And that's what's happening. So that means I probably shouldn't have done it. If the king gets stuck in the middle and you can line up your rooks and attack, then absolutely you should do it. But in this case, it doesn't seem like it was the right decision. Yeah, they do castle. Okay, we'll do it. Get one pawn back. We won last game down a piece. Can we do it again against a 25-52? I'm going to say probably not. Yeah, we can't let this happen with bishop f4, so we have to go back. Because bishop f4 is going to be a killer. It was going to be an absolute killer. I'm going to play rook e1, I think. What am I going to do? No, knight d5. Ooh, didn't see that. Yikes. Yikes. Yeah, not good. Two bishops on an open board against a knight. Definitely not good. d5. I guess we push. I can't let that get opened up, right? There's no way. Although this also looks bad. Bishop f4 looks pretty bad for me too, yeah. However you slice it, it's not looking good. Yeah, there's checkmate. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's it, huh? That is it, guys. Let's see what we did wrong. Let's see what we did wrong. Okay, yeah, so... I know c6 is a move. Bishop c5 is not really the thing. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to let them take me. I was supposed to actually take this pawn. Take the pawn, and then just play from there. And Stockfish actually does want me to make the trades with the pawns. Okay, I got a little too crazy. And that was just a bad move. Oh, h3 is the best move. Wow. Yep. Yep. Queen d3. Yeah, so I mean, I didn't really play badly from here. It was just those first opening moves. So for next time, just take the pawn and take back, and then develop your pieces, and you're fine. Black actually has a slight advantage. So don't overcomplicate it, and you're fine. That's my takeaway. They didn't want anything to do with that e4. Okay. I can't blame them. It's good. e4 is strong. Whoa. 2 in a row? What is that? 2 aborted games in a row. Are we going to have 3 in a row? No, I don't think Gringo is going to abort. Yeah, Gringo doesn't want to do it. Should we do it again? Let's do it again. Let's play the game. We're seeing a lot of King's Gambits this time around. He plays d6. Okay. We just bring out the knight. Bring out the bishop. Line up on the weak spot. Bring out the knight. I guess we'll play d3. So there's 2 ways you can play this. You can take the pawn, which is nice because it opens up your bishop and it opens up the f-file. But it also opens up some things for black. Or you can push, and then you try to use your pawns to attack. And I'm not sure what I want to do. Also, there's this annoying knight a5 move that usually happens, and they get your bishop. So if you want to prevent that, you could play like a3, and then you can keep your bishop alive. Maybe I'll just castle. Let's just castle, and we'll just leave this for now. So I'm kind of keeping my options open. Yeah, they do get their bishop out. And so now it doesn't really make sense because you're not blocking their bishop in. So I think in this case, I'll probably plan on trading. Oh, let's make him give up the bishop first. Let's do this first. Okay, that's good. And now I think I go here, right? Because we don't want to lose this pawn for nothing. So let's drop it back, defend. Yeah, see, here's a situation where I almost feel like taking just frees up their pieces, right? So I think I will push by in this case and now try to use my pawns to attack. They're going to play d5. Okay. Sure. So do we go bishop g5? What's the deal with that? So we can stop d5? Is that what I should do? Alternatively, don't worry about it. Just let him do it. It's not a huge deal. It's not a huge deal. Maybe I just play g4. Or bishop e3. The bishop's going to need to come out anyway. So we could put the bishop on e3 and then just drop back. This is fine. There's this one. Okay, I'm going to go bishop e3. I don't think this is a huge deal. I think we can just drop back. Oh, they don't do that. They go knight back. Okay. What's the point of that? I don't exactly know. They're giving me a pawn, but I don't think I want to take it. Looks too dangerous. We're going to get pinned. So, king h1. Get away from the pin. Get away from the checks. Get away from all the tactics on the dark squares. I think that's smart. C5. Whoa. Okay, I was not expecting that move. Because they've totally given me D5, which I'm quite happy to see. I'm quite happy to see this. Let's jump in. I don't think we can go wrong with that move. Play F6. Oh, that's so ugly, guys. That's so ugly. Look at this bishop. How do you do that? Dude. My position has to be good. It just has to be. Let's kick this knight out of here. I think I should save this bishop. I think this bishop's going to be really valuable. You guys see that, right? Look at this square. That looks really valuable. So how do we keep the bishop? Well, they're going to play knight a5 and try to take it. So we play this so that if that happens, we can tuck it away. So that's the first thing. Okay, fine. I'll just take it. The other thing is, should I get my queen over here? The problem is it's going to take me so many moves. Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4 before I'm actually ready. 4 moves. Well, I don't really know what they're going to do in 4 moves. So I'll do it. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 moves I need to get in here. Can anyone see? Can anyone watching this see why I want to get my rook on g4? Anybody at all? Okay, so we got to save the bishop, obviously. I can move it now, or I can just trade here, which I think I might just do that instead. If I take it, and they take me, and I play a... No, I can't play a5. They just take it. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm totally doing it, guys. I'm going all out here for the king. We are bringing the rook up here because I want to sack my queen and checkmate with the rook on h4. That's what I want to do. I've got the bishop. I've got the pawn. I need 2 more moves, and I'm ready. Two more moves, and I am ready to go. I'm almost wanting to sack the rook. It buys me a move, but it's with check. That's what I don't like. I don't think I'm going to do that. Okay, still, I need 2 moves. I'm going to go here. If I can keep the bishop alive, which I should be able to, I don't see how he's going to get my bishop. Even if the knight attacks it, I've got multiple squares I can just kind of hang out at. And then we sack and we checkmate. Now, there might be some moves we're going to have to calculate, but I've got everything in position, right? Both bishops, the queen. If we get a rook, we are golden. I don't want to open up his rooks. Absolutely not. Let's go here to gain a tempo on the knight. He's going to have to waste time. Exactly. There we go. We got another move in, guys. We're getting really close. Really close. How is he going to stop it? Can you stop it? How is he going to stop it? We are finally ready. The moment we've all been waiting for. I don't see how they're going to stop. I mean, Black's trying to get a queen, obviously, but I don't really care because you're out of time, my friend. You are out of time. This is what we call a mating net in the corner. This is nasty. I don't think they can stop it. You can't push h6. We just take it with our bishop, and that's checkmate. G6 or G5, I mean, I just take it, right? That's gonna win. I think it's over. Even like queen here to attack me doesn't do anything because it's a check and a mate. Ooh. It's very rare when you can play like a 5-move plan in chess and it works. Like back here, right? I saw it, but I was like, oh, it's too slow. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves, you know, like, but everything was kind of locked up perfectly. They just couldn't do anything fast enough. That's actually fascinating. I don't think they saw this idea. I don't think they realized it was going to be checkmate until just now. Yeah, I don't think there's a single move on the board at this point that will stop it. Unless I'm crazy. G5. We just play en passant. And there's a checkmate threat. How do you stop that? You can't. Yeah, it's over, guys. It's over. Okay, yeah, he does go for counterattack, but let's just verify. That's controlled. That's controlled. It is a checkmate. Ooh. Ooh. You can block, but I just take it. That is so nice. That's so nice. Yes. We got the brilliant queen sack, I think. I think we got a brilliant queen sack. Is it? Or is it something else? It has to be that move, right? Yep, right at the end. Right at the end. So, for my own curiosity, let's just say, hypothetically, I was playing this position. Oh, no. Stockfish agrees with me. We are definitely winning. So Stockfish would have played knight b6, which he did. Stockfish would have taken the pawn, which he did. Okay. So where was the moment Stockfish would have done something different? Right here. Stockfish would have played d5. Followed by rook a to d8. And it's basically saying, look, I'm going to sack a rook for that bishop one way or another. So you can't mate me. That's fascinating. Because if I go here, it's going to play rook d6, I think. No, it's going to play queen takes c3. I'm sorry, what? Oh, it's just going to start attacking stuff before I'm ready. Oh. Oh, wait, what is happening? Queen takes e3 because you have this. Oh my. This is why you should never play chess against computers. This is why, because there's always something that you didn't think about. So, okay, one idea was that he was going to do this, I thought, but no, it's not even that. It's just that he has this other idea of coming in here and the queen comes back to defend somehow. That's amazing. So really, it was fine up until here. That was the really big mistake, because now, let's see, can even Stockfish save themselves? No, even Stockfish at this point is, the only move Stockfish says is queen takes g2. Okay, so it's a forced mate after you get the rook up there. But prior to that, queen takes c3. So let's say I would have tried to, let's think about this. What if I defend this pawn with like bishop c1? What is Stockfish going to do? Knight d4? And if I bring my rook up now to go for the checkmate, how is Stockfish going to get out of this jam? I want to see. Rook fd8? I'm sorry. Guys, what am I missing? Is that not mate in 2? You guys saw that. I have it recorded on the live stream. Stockfish didn't see a mate in 2. What is happening? What is happening? It is showing the eval as +3 for white. And it's giving some random move like queen c2 or whatever. And not saying that it's a forced checkmate. Did we break Stockfish? Did I actually break it? Yep. What is this? Queen c2, rook f7, rook fe8. These are the moves? Okay. Queen c2, Stockfish. That's mate in 2. Now it sees it. Now it sees mate in 2. What is happening? I am so confused right now. It is not seeing. Now it's saying knight takes f5. Knight takes f5 actually makes sense because now you're stopping the checkmate, at least temporarily. Finally, it's saying a move that sort of makes sense. And then it's saying queen d4. Which, okay, now it sees the checkmate because now it's basically saying you're stopping it. I don't know what just happened, guys. I really don't know. I think we broke Stockfish. Anyway, beautiful checkmate. You know, people are saying it's because of the depth, but I'm only talking about a mate in 2. Like, even at the depth that it's set at, that should be no problem. Mate in 2 is not long. I don't understand. Maybe I don't understand how it works, but I don't know. Okay, it's time for the bathroom gambit. Ooh, October 18th, 2025. I don't think so. Hold on. I do not think so. What month are we in? December? So this is like a month old? No, I'm not doing it. I get too tilted. I'm not going to do it. Okay, here we go. Candidate Master, who's been around for a while. I like it. Yeah, I'll play e5, and then we'll do a bathroom gambit, and we'll go from there. Let's play d5. Okay. Okay, bathroom gambit. Let's see. If I take it right away, he's going to play knight at... Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. He's going to play here. I'm going to put my queen over here. Which knight do I want to come out first? How about this one? Knight c3, queen e5. Bathroom gambit for the win. Thank you. By the way, I just was thinking, did I miss a super chat? Maybe Rob can check on that. I think somebody super chatted like, oh, I just remembered when I saw this one. I don't think I ever read it, but maybe I'm wrong. I just yeah, if you could let me know what it was, Rob, and then I'll respond. I just totally forgot. Okay, so let's see. I think we just develop our pieces. Let's go knight f6. Let's not overthink it here. Let's try to save our time for the real critical moments in this game. Castles, right. Where do I want to put the bishops? This is the big question, right? Where do we want to put the bishops? How about e7, c5? I don't really know. How about e7? Just nice and simple, and we castle. Okay, Danish, thank you. You said you can relax, make chess fun, love for mini. Awesome. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that. I'm sorry I missed it. I wasn't trying to miss it. I guess there was a game or something. Probably distracted me, but thank you. Thanks, Rob. Okay. D3. Yep. Bishop's got to come out. I think we'll just go with here. And I'm keeping my options open. Okay. This move I expected, or at least I was prepared for. The problem is for white is you kind of create a weakness when you do that. Like, yes, you make me waste time, but now the pawn cannot go backwards. So I'm okay with that. And I think I will just go, let's see, here or here? Or here. I just want to avoid knight g5. I'm going to go all the way back. I'm just going to try to play real solid here. And maybe even attack on the king side when I'm ready. You can't play b4 just yet. Now you can, because the rook was undefended. But I do need to move my queen now, I think. Now the question is, where's my queen going to go, actually? This could be a little bit scary. Let's get the queen away. I'm afraid the queen's going to get into some trouble. I'm going to try to get away from there. No! What am I doing, guys? What is this? Oh, no. I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't know what I'm doing. This is so bad because if I try to save the queen, I just get forked. I essentially just lost my queen for a knight. That's it. Queen for a knight. There's nothing else to say about that. Dude. Okay. Yeah. Wow, that's so embarrassing. Okay. Well, we're going to play on. We are going to play on. Maybe this will be the greatest comeback of my life. What do you guys think? I don't think so, but if I resign, it certainly won't be. So, here we go. Here we go, folks. How about I do... I don't even know what to do. Here. My pieces just look so symmetrical. Actually, is that even the right word for this? They just look nice. They look nice. I guess that's not symmetrical. Okay, gives me a square here to work with. You play f5. Let's do it. I'm just going to pretend like nothing happened and just keep trying to play good moves, and maybe my opponent blunders their queen back to me. You never know. Go here, double up the rooks. I mean, think about it this way. If Stockfish was playing this position from black, would it win? Probably, right? Even against the 2300 candidate master, it would probably win. which means I have hope. I have hope. Oh, we don't want to lose a pawn, or do we? Maybe we sacrifice a pawn and then we checkmate the guy with the rooks. Could be a valid option. Yeah, let's do it. Stacking a pawn here if he wants to go for it. Then I'll checkmate him. Okay, he's falling right into my trap. That was a big mistake, buddy. Just have to figure out how I'm going to do it now. First things first, we save the knight. We're going to need that one. Bishop's getting ready to come here. Okay, we could go there, but then this guy, so... Let's just sink a rook in there to be annoying if we can. Okay. Should I go here? He wants to sack. Okay, he does that. Knight f6. No, we can't get away with that just yet. All right, I better retreat. At least we have something happening here with the bishop. We have something. Yeah, not really sure what to do here, guys. It's kind of tricky being down a queen. All right, let's sack another pawn. May as well. Oh, I forgot. He could just take my rook instead of that. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right. All right. That was bad because I did not want to trade that rook. Okay. What can we do about this? What can we do, guys? I don't see anything. Takes. Da-da, da-da, da-da. All right, let's push. He's forcing trades. This is not what I wanted. This is not what I wanted. Maybe he falls for my trap. Nope. Didn't catch him. Trying to set up some tricks here. Ah. Okay, let's try again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's a good move. That's a good move. All right, we tried. We tried. I can't believe I did that. I don't know what I was thinking with the queen. I really don't know what I was thinking. Yeah. I don't even want to look at that game. So yes, we lose a pawn, but we open up the lines, which is actually very useful in a lot of cases. Let's go bishop g4. Let's go bishop d6. Queen e7. We'll castle. No, we won't. We'll save our bishop first. Now I will castle. And I guess we'll play knight f6, but I want to push these pawns. Okay, he's not even going to let me do that. Interesting. Very interesting. I have some ideas. I have some crazy ideas in my mind. I'm going to use this rook because I'm anticipating white's going to castle and I want to be able to attack here. Also, when this happens, I want my knight to come back here. All right, let's go in here. And I think we take with the queen. And we start to focus on maybe pushing this pawn and taking here. I'm not sure. Looks like white doesn't want to castle for whatever reason. So... Bishop d3 would be a mistake. Yeah, they're just... Only thing they care about is pushing these pawns, apparently. Do I have any tactics, guys? That's what I'm trying to find here. Yeah, I got to get this pawn here. If I get this pawn here, this becomes dangerous for them. Almost to the point of sacking this knight. Dangerous. Let's think about this. f4. We come in. They take with the bishop, though. I don't think I quite have enough. Probably do need to keep my knight alive. Probably should keep the knight alive for a little bit longer. Okay. So yeah, f4. Because if you take with the bishop, I actually could play bishop f4 there. Yeah, I don't think I care about this too much. Do I? Just push by. I just don't want him to open up the rook. I could take it, or I could use this opportunity to get my knight into the action. Knight e6. Bishop d3 traps my queen, but then I have bishop f3. I'm fine. I think. Well, it's getting very complicated. Oof. Instinct tells me to play knight e6, but my brain is telling me to play something else. Do I follow the brain or the instinct? Let's follow the instinct this game. Let's follow the instinct. Sometimes, guys, this is like a pro tip. Sometimes their pawns actually don't hurt you. They help you. Because, like, there's no way a queen or a rook could attack me on this file now. So, in a way, it almost shields my king, right? Sometimes, not always. Like, if you imagine if they go here and they take here and they try to, like, put their queen and their rook and, you know, oh, you can't do anything. So, sometimes you just leave it sit there. Now, you have to obviously be careful. Like, if a knight lands here, that's a pretty big deal. They get a queen. Or if their queen somehow ends up here, that's a big deal, right? But otherwise, the pawn, I mean, I don't really need to take it. It's not going anywhere. Okay. This one is fine for me, I think. Because now my queen sneaks over here. I looked at this. Yeah, this is what I said was getting complicated. Because rook f8 now. This was my instinct telling me you should play this position, but I could be way off. I just felt like I have all my pieces kind of lined up on his king. So that should be good for me. Yeah, there's some pawns in the way. But that's okay. We're going to sack all our pieces and checkmate. At least that's the idea. How many pawns am I down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, white has all 8 pawns. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny, actually. He goes there. Uh-huh. So option number 1, we go queen f6 to attack it. Rook here to attack it. What about rook here? So if we go rook here, f4. f4 is annoying. That's a good move, maybe. Okay, let's think. How do we get through, guys? I mean, I can play queen h5 and then f4 we take and take. I get 1 pawn back. He's got 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to be down a pawn in that situation. Once I take this guy. Queen f6. That looks good if I can get it. Let's go here. I think even if we trade the queens, we will have enough compensation. Because really, if you think about it, if I get both of these pawns, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm only going to be down 1 pawn if both of these fall. Which is very likely what's going to happen, right? So hold on. Do I want to trade the bishop, though? Don't love it. I don't love it, but I guess I have to. Fine. We'll play the rook ending. We will play the rook ending. I do have nice and active rooks, so that's the only good thing for me here. Take this pawn back now. Like I said, we're down 1 pawn, which is still a pawn, but it's not like unplayable. And his rook's really bad. This rook's really, really bad. I'd like to keep that if I can. How do we keep that? So maybe we go here and activate this passed pawn. Maybe that's exactly what we do. We activate a passed pawn. Because he really isn't going to want to move this rook, right? Otherwise, he's going to start giving up pawns. Yes, you can do that. But now I'm going to push this guy. I'm going to push it. I think I would like to keep this pawn alive because it stops 2 of his pawns. And now we push. Now we push. Remember that trick from the other game, guys, where if the rook tries to come behind you, you can blockade it? That might be useful for me. He wants to sack. He wants to get fancy and sack. Should I let him do it? A4 takes, A3. Rook goes back, A2. I don't know if that's a win or not. Because again, we might have that same problem where the pawns are pushing. Fascinating. Very fascinating. Okay, I have an idea. That's my idea. Let him take everything and just go. Just go as quick as I can with the pawn. Is it enough? I don't know. Yeah, he's going to go stop it now. Hmm. Problem is, I only have one pawn left, so he's just going to sack his rook and then push at some point. Man, I think I do have to stop this guy, though. This is going to be a problem for me, right? Man. It's not going how I wanted it to, guys. Hmm. I don't know what to do. I think we're just losing. I think we are just losing. He's going to put his king here and just... Well, I guess he can't push that. Yeah, this is not going well. Do I have any tricks? I don't think I have any tricks. Is 3 pawns on the 4th rank against a rook a win? I have no idea. I have no... Like, if we somehow trade and he sacks one of his rooks and he has 3 pawns here, is that a win? I don't know. That's what's going to happen, isn't it? Well, I got to go for it. I'm going to run out of time. I think this is losing for me. I think it's losing. Maybe we can do the same trick we did last time. Maybe. It's like my last attempt here at swindling something. This is like the same exact game almost. That's crazy. Are we going to get a draw like this again? Or is he going to try to flag me again and I get a queen and I win? Like, are you kidding me? No. Oh, because he's got a pawn. The other game, it was a check. Too bad. I forgot about that little detail. Okay, well, we'll still try, but it's a loss. It's definitely a loss. He's going to have to move his king at some point. And that's where it starts to get, I guess, a little bit interesting. because that's when I can start checking him, hopefully. So this is interesting, actually. Might be a draw if he does it again. He's gonna have to move his king. He goes his queen. Interesting. Let me... Trying to force him to move his king so I can start checking. This looks like some composed puzzle. Or maybe there's a forced perpetual check draw, you know? I'm threatening to come this way, this way. 30 seconds, though? It's not a lot. It is not a lot. Can he get away from the checks if I keep doing this? I don't think he can get away, right? Oh, maybe like this. No, because he can't ever block or I take both pawns. Okay, don't mess it up, Nelson. Yeah, this should do it. This should do it. Yes. 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 Let's go. Sometimes draws feel like wins. Sometimes they just really feel like wins. I never had an advantage, so a draw is a good result. How about that? Okay, we got to check that end game. That was fascinating. So let's go back. Maybe let's see how bad it. Well, actually, okay, this was an interesting game. Let's actually check. Okay, Stockfish says you should take the pawn. Okay, so I messed that up. My instinct was wrong. Should have went with my brain on that one. Oh no, interesting though, but it's because of the move Queen B3. And maybe white can sneak around. The move that they played was actually not good, and this was a decent position for me. Okay. So I sort of did evaluate this okay, that it was not so bad for me. Queen G5 is the move? Why would I play Queen G5? Oh, you want to go this way. Brilliant. You want to go in like this. And then the attack keeps happening. Now you've got a nice attack. See, in my mind, all I could think about was attacking this pawn. So I was only considering moves like this. But Stockfish was saying, we'll attack it next move, and it'll be so much more powerful because we're going to hit the rook and everything else at the same time. Man, okay. And Stockfish would not have gone into the endgame. It says you just keep everything on the board. Keep the queen on the board because his king is weak. Yeah, that actually makes so much sense. His king is not very safe. He doesn't have a safe place to go. Mine is pretty safe over here. So keeping the queens on the board would be a very smart thing to do, and trading is just not the way. I just go into like basically a losing endgame. Now, that being said, I hope if you guys have learned nothing else, yeah, this is totally losing for me. You at least learn this one trick, which we've seen now 2 games on this stream, right? You have a pawn, you're trying to become a queen, you support it with your king. You don't have to just sacrifice it. Like, yes, I could have done that, right? Like right here, I could have done that. But there's no way this is going to end well for me. Look at this. There's too many pawns. Oh, it's his turn, actually, too. Like, he just pushes all his pawns. What can I do? My king is so far away. He just marches them up the board, and he wins. F7, like, it's easy win. So, remember, you can cut off going back to the game, you can cut off the rook. And it gets tricky when you do that. It gets tricky. right? Because we could have seen the draw where he goes back and forth with the check. Or if he would have like tried something crazy, yeah, now you just lose because you let me get the queen. He actually played the right thing. Yeah, I think in the other game when this happened, there was no pawn blocking it. So my queen would have happened with check on the king, if I remember correctly. So that's a difference in this one. Still, yeah, so he's totally winning, but he has to do something with this. And let's see, what does Stockfish say? Let me see if the table base will tell me. Yeah, so there's, by the way, guys, table base, if you don't know what that is, I'll show you. It looks like this. And it tells you all the moves that guarantee a win for white, all these moves. But then you can also see there's a bunch of moves that draw. So that means it's very tricky, right? Like you have to play one of these correct moves. There's also all of these moves that, you know, would draw. And then there's some losing moves too, if you like blunder your queen or whatever. So that's fascinating. So what did he play? He played check, which is fine. He didn't know what to do. This was fine. That was the critical mistake. Putting the pieces like that was the critical mistake. So what did he need to play? King e6? So you had to abandon this pawn altogether? Because queen f5 check, I can't take it because I get skewered like this. It really was like an endgame puzzle. So I would have to go here, and now you can push your pawn. It's supported by the king, and it's going to be a win. That's actually really interesting. Because he went here, now, yeah, he can never get out of the checks. Nope, but not if that move. I need to play a different move. Okay, look at this. Let's go back to the table base. Check this out. I have one drawing move. I should have had you guys try to figure it out. Sorry for spoiling it. Anyway, there's the move. In hindsight, I should have asked. Okay, what's the move? Queen b8. Why is queen b8 the only drawing move? I have no idea. I have no idea. Does anybody have any ideas? Well, we're stopping the check. That's what I'm noticing. We're stopping the check. But we're not putting him in check. So I guess my concern is he's just going to push his pawn. Then we're going queen g8 check. He has to defend his queen. We're going queen d8 check. He has to defend his queen. We're going queen a5 check. Ah, so we're setting up this little perpetual check thing. You guys see that? If he pushes the pawn. Wow, so that's one sort of explanation for queen b8. But I guess what I'm wondering is what was wrong with what I did in the game? Why is this losing? Because king b6. He has to go here. This is so ridiculous. He goes here because I can't take his queen because he takes this and I can't catch his pawn. I'm too slow. So he goes king b6, and if I keep checking, king a6. So my only check now is here. King a7. What is going on? Check. King a8. What is Stockfish doing? It's doing its go around in circles for a few moves, and then it actually plays the move it wants to play. Okay. King b5. Queen b8 check. King. This is so complicated, by the way. And you get away from the checks. Eventually. Because now you can play d5 with check. Wow. So Stockfish is basically saying, look, I'll run my king all the way around, ring around the rosy until we get here. Because now when you put me in check here, I can block. And then when you put me in check here, here, I can push my pawn with the check. And even though you get a pawn, now I can go queen d4 check, force you away. And this is a win for white. Let's say I go here instead. This is a win for white somehow because you're going to be pushing this pawn. I mean, it's crazy that we saw this in an actual game. This is wild stuff. Oh, boy. Okay. I think I have time for one more game, guys. Maybe two. Let's see. One or two more games. Let's go. Let's go. Oof. New account. It's risky. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to take a risk here. King's Gambit. Risk. People say it's bad, but I don't believe them. I don't believe them. Plays h6. Okay. That seems questionable, but what do I know? Let's go d4. Now, what am I doing? We're getting the center. We're setting up to potentially sacrifice a piece. Uh-huh. No, we're just going to castle. We're just going to castle. If they want to push and take my knight, we'll do like a delayed Muzio gambit. No, he's going for some other setup. Okay. Yeah, I think the way here is going to be... Ooh. Ooh. Wait a second, guys. I have a really nasty idea. G3. What's the point? You say, Nelson, why do you want to destroy your kingside voluntarily? Well, I'm thinking that if they take me, maybe I can take here with check, then here with a double check, because now my knight and my rook, then my queen comes in and we somehow checkmate the king. That's what I'm thinking. The problem is, what if they just do something else, right? I could play rook f2. But I don't know if that's good for me or not. Yeah, it seemed... It's very tempting, guys. It's very tempting. Actually. Okay, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't stop myself. I just can't. Sometimes you just have to go for it. He plays g4. What is happening? What is happening? Is it time for the Muzio Gambit again? I think it's time. Delayed Muzio Gambit. Here we go. Now, I do have a decision. Am I going to give him this one or not? I don't have to give it to him. I could play c3 and take this pawn later. No, I'm going to give it to him. We got to get this battery going. I'm going to give it to him. Take it, my friend. Take it. If you want it, take it. I think I should put my king on g2, stopping any shenanigans with the bishop. You ask me if I'm worried about the rook in the corner? Nope. Don't care. Don't care at all about it. Because we are going for the king. We got to close this stream with a bang. That's what we're going for here. This is actually a good example of how you can take an idea from an opening, right? Like the Muzio Gambit, and you can apply it in a different situation, right? Like I knew that this was a thing where you could sack your knight, even though it's not in this situation, but it's like, well, it's a similar type of position. Okay, so he goes back. So let's start with the obvious. If I try to attack this weak spot, what's going to happen to me? Probably rook h7 or queen e7. Yeah. Okay, so we need some more pieces. So maybe knight c3. There is e5, but... I think we need more pieces. I think we get the knight out. Now the rook can come over to help as well. And black's king. I don't know where it's going to find shelter, guys. You're not going to really castle this way. Even if you do, it's not safe. It's going to take you forever before you can castle that way. I'm not going to wait that long to launch an attack. So I like my position. I like it a lot, actually. I'm going to be playing e5 now that my other rook is ready to come over and see what black can do about that. He plays h5? I'm sorry. You are thinking that you have time to play a move like this? You think you have time to do this? No. I don't think so. I do not think so. I think we are just going to go... Gotta go with the instincts, guys. You gotta bust open the e-file to get to the king. That's how attacking works. You have to do it. I'm getting so excited for what's about to happen. I don't see it, but I can feel it. I can just feel a checkmate with a beautiful sacrifice. Some brilliant moves. It's in the air. Hopefully I don't miss it. That's my only concern, that I'm going to miss the brilliant move when it's there. I mean, there's the obvious thing of like bishop f7, followed by bishop e5. And we just have so many pieces piling up on this bishop. That looks really good. There's ideas of knight d5 hitting this. There's ideas of rook d1 hitting the queen. Rook e1 hitting here. This is the only problem that I'm going to have is which move do I play? Right? So there's also just even taking it right away now that I'm looking at it, because you can't take me back because of checkmate. So maybe that's even the best. First things first, bishop g4. Is it a concern at all? I don't think so. I think we just take, although then 97. Maybe black is surviving that, so maybe I don't want to allow that. Okay, let's say I do play rook d1. Force the queen to e7. Actually, the queen on e7 gets hit with the knight. That's awful for black, I think. So if I do play rook d1, maybe the move is going to be a bishop or a knight blocking. Let's just say knight. Again, we take. If you take with the bishop, again, it's checkmate. If you take with the knight, I take your queen. So you lose. Okay, if you block with the bishop, same thing. There's bishop c6 in that case, but no, there's not. I just take your queen, and then I can block. So rook d1. Starting to feel very good. This one I didn't really analyze too much, but rook d1 looks so powerful. I think we just go with it. I am not seeing a good response for black, so let's go. And I also didn't really calculate this one too much, but I just don't, there's no good move for the queen, right? There's no good move for the queen. And if you have to put yourself into a pin, you tie up all your pieces. Okay, they go for queen e7, but no, this is... There's just no way. You can't survive this. I don't believe it. I don't believe you could survive this. Let's go 95 just on principle, on instinct. I didn't really calculate. I'm just telling myself, if I can get a knight on d5 with tempo on a queen, and they have to do something like this, there must be a win. There must be a win. So, let's find it, guys. Let's start with some obvious moves. Check. They take with the queen. Bishop g5 almost works, but this is check, so I can't mate. I don't think that's going to be the move. Bishop e5. If they take with the queen, I think I'm happy to pin it. Pin it and win it. So they're probably going to take with the bishop. No, you can't take with the bishop because we take here. There's also... I feel like it's got to be bishop e5, right? Just, you got to get the pawn out of there. You got to open up the files. If they take with the queen, okay, we win the queen, fine. If they take with the bishop, check. Even though I don't see an immediate win, that has to be. Yeah, because we also win the queen. Yes, okay, let's go. Let's go, guys. Let's get the brilliant moves. Let's get the checkmate. Here we go. What's he going to play, though? That's what I'm not sure about. This? I mean, I guess there's also the idea of just giving back your queen at some point and saying, okay, I have enough pieces for it. Okay, so check, right? Okay, king d8. So... okay, knight moves probably should be it, right? I mean, I don't think we want to trade queens. If I take with the knight, we also hit the rook. You can't take me because you're pinned, so that looks very good. So does this, though, because then you're threatening checkmate. It's easy for them to deal with. Probably here's the move. Yeah, it's got to be knight c7, right? It's got to be knight c7. And you can't take me. That's just mate immediately. Well, it's not mate, but it's really good. He goes bishop d7. Okay. So we take the queen, and then we try to finish it off from there, right? Before I lose on time. Okay. So we take a rook. Yeah, we should be fine in that situation. Alternatively, he's offering me a draw. No way, dude. Also, I could go here. That's a very powerful move. But I think I'll just take the rook. Because now I have a rook. Yeah, I have two pieces for a queen. I do need to hurry up. I'm going to try to take advantage of the pin here, though. Bishop e6 next is what I'm thinking. Yeah, bishop e6 should be good. He offers me another draw. No, dude. I'm not going to waste this beautiful game with a draw. So my plan is to take and then go queen e6 and win the knight. Don't see how he's going to stop that. Take queen e6, take it. And that doesn't do it. As far as I can tell. That's actually going to be checkmate pretty soon, I think. There's knight d5. Okay, he resigns. Offers two draws and resigns. We got a brilliant move. Let's go. Which one was it? I have no idea. Maybe one of those sacrifices early, or is it later? Let's see. It was later. It was bishop e5. Okay. This game, I think we should analyze from the beginning. This one's going to be interesting all the way around. So let's just go. So they take knight f3. h6. This is called the Becker defense. So it's an actual line. And then d6. Fisher defense. Okay. G5. So this is legitimate. Castling is actually not the right move, apparently. And G3 is not really the right move. Stockfish wants H4? And 91? No, I'm not going to play the King's Gambit and play moves like this. No way. Okay, anyway. I played G3. G4. Bishop takes F4 is a blunder. It doesn't like the Muzio Gambit. Okay. He messes up, though. See, this is what I was talking about when I played the King's Gambit the other game, and people were saying, oh, you played a bad opening, and, you know, of course you're going to lose. Like, well, maybe if the person plays a perfect game, but like here, there's so many options. The best move was Queen F6 or Knight F6. My opponent chose like a different one, Bishop F6, which is the wrong one. So like that's why you play these openings, right? Because there's a chance, you know, that people make mistakes. Doesn't mean that you should never play it just because Stockfish says it's losing. And this is a good example. They finally made a mistake, and then we can take advantage of it. Mr. Elgin, hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. So Bishop F6 is wrong. I don't really want to get into the Queen F6 thing right now. I played Knight C3, a good move. Yeah, H5 was just losing because of E5. Yeah, so guys, remember, when you're trying to attack, got to open up that E file. I mean, of course, there's other things, but this is one important detail. You got to open up the E file to get at the king, right? Okay, so they take. Best move according to Stockfish. Yes. Rook AD1. All right, Rook AD1. Very good. They move the queen, Knight D5. Best move, yeah. It just felt like it was. And then here, best move according to Stock. Okay, they're both really good. Bishop takes E5 and Bishop G5. Why Bishop G5? I guess it's the same idea. It's almost the same position except slightly different. And you still have really killer moves with Knight B6 winning the queen. Okay. So yeah, Bishop E5. That's the way. Knight takes C7 was the best move because we get the rook. I missed something here. Knight E6 check. Whoa. What is happening there? You can't take with the queen because your bishop is pinned. And if you take with the bishop, oh, then I take your queen. No, I don't. I take this. Wow. Stockfish is disgusting sometimes. Wow. Okay. Anyway. Back to the real world. I took the queen. And I took the rook. Yeah. Great. Bishop E6 takes queen E6. Great. All right, guys. I think that's a good one to end on. I don't know if I got any points this stream or not, but we had some really interesting games. Some nice endings. Some good King's Gambits. A couple of brilliant moves along the way. Thank you, guys. Oh, you just joined. Sorry. No, I have to go. I am going to go play some pickleball. Try to stay healthy. Reminder, make sure you stretch, walk around. Don't sit in front of the computer all day. 4 points gained. Perfect. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate that. Thank you, guys. I'll see you next time. Yeah, I hope you learned something. And stay sharp, play smart, take care.